Many of us take our health and safety for granted. We all think we're always safe and secure all the time. Well, guess what? Life isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a mean and nasty place, and I don't care. Sounds really familiar. Let's move on. What I'm saying is that, one day you could just be walking on top of a bridge, along a railway track, and then lo and behold, before you know it, you hear a train rearing up behind you, and you try and run away, and you fall over just like these clowns. Now, first off, they both survived. They couldn't get moving in time, but they lay in between the sleepers and they were okay. But the moral of the story is, from what I can see, with the amount of fail videos I've seen in the past, the ability to get up and down off the floor quickly really is a life-saving skill. And like any other skills, there's ways to do it and ways not to do it. I'm going to show you a few drills that you can do what you want with. You can bring them into your training. It's a nice, simple way to do things. But I'm going to show you how to get up and down off the floor quickly from different positions. Now, it goes without saying that in order to be able to get the most out of these drills and to be able to perform them efficiently and effectively, you need to probably have a little bit of mobility, some flexibility, and ideally not a big gut getting in the way of your legs when you're trying to get up off the floor. So let's get straight into drill number 1. So here's the first drill. This is basically called a pop-up. Now, when I was trying to do some research in the past to find out if there's any kind of additional information, there's a best method of doing this, all I could find was surfing pop-ups. But then I realized that, the surfing pop-up is probably the best example of being able to get off the floor lying face down, because it's when you're surfing, not that I'm an expert of surfing, I've never surfed in my life, but surfers have to get up quickly in a short area, and they have to gain control. And importantly with surfing is when you pop up, you do it in a way that you put your back foot on the floor first, and you get your feet underneath your body. And that's the most important bit, because in an emergency situation, if you need to pop up off the floor, you're going to have to move somewhere. There's no point if something is falling towards me now and I just pop up, it's going to hit me in the head. I'm going to have to pop up, and then I'm going to have to move sideways, forwards, backwards, or I might have to rotate into the movement. All right, so first drill, I'll show you right from the side. Lying down flat. Your hands can be from this position. First off, you're going to have to pop your hands to the side. Then you're going to drive your chest up. And this is usually the opposite way you would normally teach this exercise in terms of contraindications and being professional and keep a neutral spine. In this case, you're not looking at a neutral spine. You're looking at getting up and down off the floor quickly. So you're going to do this kind of caterpillar movement where you throw your chest up and then you whip your legs underneath. So from this position, chest goes up, you're going to pop from that position, and then you pop your feet underneath. So it's going to look like this. And now from this position, I've got my foot ready to be able to move. I can either push forward from that position, or I can shift and push back from that position. So once again, you notice it's slightly the back foot that hits first. If you do the front foot first, you pop up, then you're in this position where you can fall forward. And if you need to move back, it means you're going to have to really push back and then start the movement. So once again, from that position. You can also do this as a second stage in between, where you can keep your hands on the floor first, but it's slower. So this is where you need the dynamic effort and to be able to pop up onto the hands. Next two drills are very similar. The objective is always generally going to be to get onto the front. Because if you're lying on your side from that position, moving onto your back is not going to achieve anything. So you're going to have to go onto the front. The same thing if you're lying already on the back. What do? I need to get over and pop up into that position. So it's the same thing on the side, on the back, sorry, on the side. Obviously, this way your arm is in the way. This becomes an obstacle for your movement. So the first thing would be, is because you want to be able to get to this position, is to throw the arm. And to do it faster, you can throw the leg as well. That's the drill number 2. Repeat one more time. From the side, over, up, side, from there. On the back, same drill, but now you can use the leg, and the leg will help speed the movement up. And again, show you from this side. Leg goes over, arm goes up. All right, so they're the basics. There's the first 3 drills. The basic pop-up, and then the pop-up from the side, pop-up from the back. Next, we're going to move into what happens if you fall over during movement. You could be backpedaling, you hit the deck, you could be walking forward, you trip over something. You still have the same process where you need to get up off the floor quickly. All right, next drill, you might be in a situation where you're backing away from something, you accidentally trip, hit the deck, maybe something is falling towards you. You need to be able to get up on your feet and get moving. So this is a slightly different drill, and it doesn't involve the pop-up. What this is going to involve is a roll, a backwards roll. You need to be able to do break falls, basically, for this drill. So there's another video on break falls, which you can check out. And again, another essential skill. But this is the culmination of learning how to break fall and then adding it into a scenario. So you're going to walk. Maybe you've tripped on something, and it's thrown you backwards. You need to go with the fall. You're going to roll over the shoulder, and you're going to stand up. So I'm going to do it without the trip hazard. You walk, you trip over something, you roll, and you're back onto your feet. Any direction you need to move. So for our scenario, this is going to be the trip hazard. I'm going to back, all of a sudden, roll, and I'm up, ready to go in any direction. Quite complicated, quite tough to do. It's a bit of a skill to learn how to do the fall. Other scenario might be, again, this is another break fall, because you might have a forward trip. You might be, like many people are today, on the phones, they don't see something. Next minute, you've fallen forward. So this is quite a big obstacle. Usually it's going to be something small like a curb, but this is kind of maybe about curb size. Again, you could be trying to avoid something. You might be moving away from something there. You might look, trip. You need to be able to take the fall, and then you go into a pop-up again. So in a movement, you'd be walking, you trip, hit the deck, same scenario, pop up, keep moving. Again, you can check out that break fall, but basically you're absorbing the impact. My mistake is you have to make sure you turn the face. You trip, turn the face back, pop up, and then move away. All right, 2 more drills to go over. These are both part of standing up in a kind of self-defense scenario. You might be in the middle of something. You might be in the middle of a fight. You might have some kind of altercation. You might get pushed over. The person might be standing over the top of you. You might need to get up. You also might need to get up in a confined space where you don't have the option of moving forward or sideways, and you might have to use a wall, for example. So we're going to do 2 more drills. First one is going to be using a bag. All right, so this drill comes straight from Jiu-Jitsu, MMA. Bas Rutten was good at this. This involves you using your feet, if this is an opponent, and finding a way to keep them at distance. Because say you've been pushed over, the person is standing over the top of you, you want to be able to get up, because if you move forward, they're going to get a shin in the face, or a knee in the face, or you get grabbed by the head. So you need to get distance. The first part of this is to create a barrier, basically. You're going to post your hand out to the side. You can create this barrier. You can push the legs. You can push away. You can give it a kick. You can stand for that position. And then when the time comes, you give a kick. You put the foot down, you switch, this leg comes behind, and then you step out the way. So it can be a pretty quick drill. You're from that position, you kick, and the first thing you're making sure you do is you get your head out of the way of the opponent. Again, you're not going to go into this position, moving forward. You're keeping everything moving that way. Next drill is another drill that comes from MMA. The wall walk, it's used in the back. And obviously, in the case of MMA, they would use a cage. But sometimes you might be in this position where you've hit the deck and your opponent is in front of you. Now, it doesn't do very well to have slippy socks on this one, so I'm going to remove the socks. Assuming if you were on the street, you'd have some appropriate footwear. So if your opponent's in front or they're trying to keep you down, you need to get your legs underneath you and you're going to shimmy up the wall. So I'll show you from the side. First thing is get a bit of distance. You're going to walk from that position. Obviously, you would then need to try and keep your opponent away from you. So from the side again, you're protecting the face. You get a little bit of a pop to get you started, hand on the floor from this side, hand on the floor, and then you're going to push and walk away. If your opponent's already pushing into you, you can actually push against, and it'll help you get up the wall. Again, from this position, you get a little bit of space, you pop up, and you walk your shoulders against the wall. So you create a bit of space, you push, you get your backside off the floor, back on the wall, and then you're going to use your shoulders and walk. All right, that's it. In summary, 7 simple drills that you can use from different scenarios: lying down, on your side, on your back, falling over forwards, falling over backwards. These are all the kind of scenarios you would generally find yourself in if you ever fall or in danger and need to get your ass up off the floor quickly and run away from a moving train.